Growing up in the 90s, going anywhere with arcade games or pinball machines was simply the best. Whether it was going to Dave & Buster's for a birthday party, or my dad taking me to the local shopping mall arcade on a Sunday afternoon to shut me up for a few hours, I loved going to arcades as a kid and still do. Sadly, most of the better arcades I grew up with are long gone, but fortunately for hopelessly sentimental people like myself, arcades have had somewhat of a revival in recent years. When most people think of arcades, they remember video arcade machines like Pac-Man, Time Crisis, and Radical Bikers. No one remembers Radical Bikers except maybe no one? Okay then, Top Skater then. See, now you're all nostalgic again, ha! But anyhow, while many of us fondly remember these arcade games, a huge portion of us also remember all the amazing pinball machines that these magical establishments had as well. In addition to arcades, it seemed like every casual restaurant, bowling alley, and bar had at least one pinball machine as well, shoved into some corner just waiting to be played. I played many awesome pinball machines growing up, however, it wasn't until I became an adult that I really got to play some of the much better machines released over the decades. Now equipped with more money, my own car, and many video pinball options, I've been able to enjoy many tables I rarely ever came across as a kid. However, there is one very sad reality to all of this. When you play an amazing game, what do you typically want to do? Own it, right? Well, in case you haven't heard, pinball is really expensive. Like, go put a down payment on a luxury car expensive, or pay off the rest of your student loans expensive. Yeah, they aren't cheap, and not only that, but they're freaking huge. So, unless you have deep pockets and a big house to put them in, which I have neither unfortunately, owning your own pinball machine is a reality most of us will never know. I know, cry with me brothers and sisters, cry with me. And in case anyone is curious, I'm capturing my pinball footage using Pinball Arcade on Steam. But, before you excitedly turn this video off and go straight to Steam to purchase it along with these tables, I have some bad news for you. While many of the Stern and Gottlieb machines are still available to purchase, literally all of the Bally-Williams machines were yanked a couple years ago due to licensing BS. If you were lucky enough to get in before this happened, you have some of the best video emulation of these outstanding machines available. And if you didn't, well, there are other options, albeit ones that are either way more expensive, or video pinball emulators of varying degrees of quality. But I blabbered on long enough, let's jump into our list. Here are my top 5 pinball machines. Number 5. Theater of Magic. Theater of Magic was one of those machines I never came across growing up. In fact, I wasn't even aware of its existence until years later when I started going to pinball conventions. But let me tell you something, this game rocks. You essentially are a magician's assistant, or a magician maybe, someone who performs magic tricks by launching metal balls everywhere. Yeah, but the goal of Theater of Magic is to perform as many tricks as possible to ramp up your score, earn those extra balls, and make your audience and pinball narrator waifu happy. Essentially, you're aiming for a magic trunk that allows you to perform a new trick, and then you must shoot the ball elsewhere in order to complete the trick. Your final goal in this game is to perform a grand finale magic trick after you've completed the previous tricks, become a boss-ass magician, and piss the many people off in line behind you for having to wait while you do all of this. I love Theater of Magic, not only for its overall design, but just the level of creativity and fun this game has. The artwork is awesome, the whole magician aesthetic is great, and overall, it's a machine you don't have to be a pinball wizard at in order to get high scores on. I literally have a hard time finding any fault with this table, and the only reason it's number 5 on my list is because the other 4 games are somehow even more awesome. So let's get to the next one. Number 4. Scared Stiff. First and foremost, I love Elvira. When I was younger, she was just that booby lady hugging a werewolf on that poster at the liquor store where my dad bought a 6-pack, but actually my first experience with Elvira was playing Scared Stiff at a local sports bar while my dad sat at the bar watching football. Yeah, my dad dragged me to a lot of places I probably shouldn't have been as a kid, but hey, at least it meant I got to go play some of the best pinball machines ever made, right? Scared Stiff somehow accomplished being better than its predecessor, Elvira and the Party Monsters, which is also an amazing machine. Scared Stiff has you raising the stiffometer by getting through 6 Tales of Terror that relate to various objectives you have to accomplish at various places on the table. The Tales of Terror are in the same vein as B-movies Elvira would watch during her Movie Macabre TV show. And then there's all the innuendos. I mean, stiffometer? Good head? Hell, the game is called Scared Stiff and has a gorgeous goth chick with giant boobs all over it. This pinball machine nailed the fun, lighthearted sexual humor that Elvira was famous for. Its naughty, yet tongue-in-cheek humor can be seen and heard everywhere on this machine. Beyond being only one of 2 machines on this list from the halcyon years of my childhood, the game is still just so much fun. And look at it, the table itself looks awesome and just screams cheesy horror and Elvira. What more could you want? This machine draws me in like a moth to the flame whenever I'm I'm lucky enough to find one in the wild. If I had a healthy $8,000 to blow on this machine, I easily would, instead of, saving it, investing it, or maybe doing something else more responsible with it. Oh well. Being a responsible adult is overrated anyways. Now, let's get to the next excellent pinball machine on our list, shall we? Number 3. Attack from Mars! Another Bally Williams machine? Yep, and you better get used to it. They made some of the most based machines back in the day, and one of the most based was Attack from Mars. As a kid in the mid to late 90s, I went to countless birthday parties at a laser tag place called Laser Quest. If you've ever been lucky enough to go to a Laser Quest, you know how amazing they are. The reason I brought up Laser Quest is because while you're waiting for your next laser tag match to start, you have a lobby full of arcade games, claw machines, capsule machines, and you guessed it, pinball machines. At one point in the 90s, my local Laser Quest had an Attack from Mars machine, which funny enough was right next to an Area 51 arcade cabinet. Did anyone else think the aliens looked similar between these two games? I sure did. I guess they were developed under the same roof during the mid-90s, so maybe someone was copying someone else's homework. I don't know. But Attack from Mars presents itself like a 1950s sci-fi movie, where you're tasked with defeating 4-armed aliens who've invaded Earth. You're tasked with destroying the giant mothership at the back of the table, Independence Day style, but instead you're using metal balls instead of Randy Quaid. Shame. But anyhow, you liberate several major countries across the world until you've freed them all, saving the Earth and being cool enough to hang out with 90s Will Smith and Jeff Goldblum. Okay, I watched Independence Day recently. It's a good movie. It's awesome. Okay, it's kind of ridiculous, but sentimental, just like this game. One thing I love about Attack from Mars, outside its awesome design, is its simplicity. Some pinball machines require a PhD to understand and learn how to play them. Attack from Mars pretty much just requires you remove the mothership's shields, take aim, and blast each ship down until you've destroyed them all. Sure, there are other things you can do to raise your score in this game, but overall it's a very straightforward game that makes it a great machine for anyone with limited experience with pinball. It's also a blast for seasoned pinball veterans as well. Attack from Mars, it was awesome back in the day and it's just as awesome today. Number 2. Whitewater! I'm admittedly drawn more to pinball games that are more flashy, sci-fi or fantasy based, or based on licensed franchises I love. So when I first laid eyes on Whitewater, I had fairly low expectations for it. In fact, prior to playing it for the first time as an adult, I had never seen or heard of it before, even though it came out in 1993. After just one game, I felt compelled to play Whitewater again, then again, then again. This machine has a magnetic charm that few other pinball machines have, and on top of that, it's both fun and hard as hell. Whitewater has you adventuring down a river in your raft, which happens to look like a Chipotle burrito for some reason. You advance your burrito by aiming your ball at the flashing arrows located at various places around the table, including an upper section with its own flipper. Meanwhile, you have a massive Bigfoot who is just adorable, by the way, caves with hidden treasure, and multiple multi-ball modes. And above all else, you have this Giga Chad boomer, Wet Willie. This guy is awesome, and I imagine if I ever had the balls to go whitewater rafting, I'd have a dude just like Wet Willie at the helm of my journey. In fact, your goal is to reach his ranch, listen to Jimmy Buffett, get shit-faced off cheap beer, and do burnouts in his Dodge Challenger. Okay, just the first part, but he seems like the kind of dude who'd be down with that other stuff, right? As mentioned, Whitewater is a pretty challenging table as well. Pinball is already known for being fast-paced and requiring quick reflexes, but this game cranks the speed up significantly. With its small playfield and the ball flying towards your flippers quickly when coming out of the various loops and passages on this table, even the brief distraction of the guy next to you farting while playing The Sopranos will result in one less ball. Despite its challenge, or because of it, this is one of the most fun, engaging, and just cool pinball machines you will ever play, despite its somewhat bland theme. Definitely don't let that sway you from playing one of the best pinball machines ever made. Number 1. Medieval Madness. Is anyone really surprised this is number 1? I mean, every single time I come across this machine, no matter where, there are always at least 2 people waiting to play it, if not more. Beyond being one of the best designed machines ever, it's also one of the funniest, one of the coolest looking, and it maybe has the most memorable prop in any pinball machine ever. Of course, I'm referring to the Destructible Castle. Yep, your objective in Medieval Madness is to bring that bitch down. You do this by hitting a mechanical drawbridge, causing it to lower, then a gate, and then finally sinking the ball through the castle gates, destroying it in one of the greatest spectacles in all of pinball. You do this multiple times by defeating the various lords, dukes, and earls until you get to the ultimate alpha douche himself, the King of Pain. While doing all of this, you'll be getting help from Merlin, beating down trolls, cucking the lords by saving their wives from a dragon, and launching innocent animals at the castle for points? God, this game is messed up. Medieval Madness is the absolute pinnacle of pinball. It's as if all other great pinball machines prior were building up to it, and it has never been that good ever since. It pains me deeply inside that I never got to play this game growing up. I hate that this game was never at my local pizzeria or at any of the local sports bars my dad dragged me to when I was a kid. I actually never knew this game existed until I saw it in all of its glory at a pinball convention about 5 or 6 years ago. This machine is so beloved and so popular that it was actually officially reproduced so you could buy years after its initial release. Medieval Madness is just that loved and that cherished, and I absolutely 100% get it. If you haven't played Medieval Madness, do whatever you can to play it. Sell your car, cash in your 401k, drain your kid's college fund, sell a kidney, just do whatever you have to play it. Trust me, it's worth it. So those are my top 5 pinball machines. What are some of your favorites? Which ones did you grow up playing? Which ones you discover later on and you lament not knowing about sooner? Let me know in the comments below. Take care, everyone.